I believe that the current general plan in the Bayfront Master Plan has no limit on heights, building heights on the Bayfront as currently written. I think the idea behind that was to prevent a wall of buildings being sprouting up that would ruin the view corridor, such as you have in Coronado with a whole block or row of buildings that destroy the view corridor in certain parts of town. And I think that was the thought behind not having height limits, is that the higher a building can go up, the smaller the footprint, the less likely you would end up with a block wall of buildings. That being said, that I think that development is very, it's important to follow the master plan. It's important to study the environmental impact reports and make sure that everything is properly addressed.
Ms. Aguilar?
Again, I think the lack of progress on the Bayfront is simply another example of lack of leadership at City Hall. The Bayfront is an enormous potential resource for the city, but underline the word potential. Very, very little has happened there. On the issue of building heights, I'm not in favor of building heights for the Bayfront. Panelists said it correctly, I think. What's important is to maintain view corridors between buildings. What's important is that we not have a mass of buildings, not have big, bulky buildings that block our views. As long as we can maintain those view corridors, I think that we can be flexible with regard to the height of any particular building on the Bayfront.
Sorry, Mr. Castaneda?
With respect to Gaylord or the Pacifica proposal, neither developer has come forward and said that the building height limits that exist on those properties are a problem for them. So clearly we're going to have to see. Now we've seen, I think, some renderings or renditions of the Gaylord proposal, but we have yet to see anything for Pacifica, so we don't know what those buildings will ultimately look like or what they're planning to look like. With respect to what's going on the Bayfront, it is right. And I think what we're seeing and what we have seen, unfortunately, is just a replay of history. You know, we sit as a city council, we sat when Steve Padilla was the mayor, we sat in conjunction with the Port of San Diego, and we adopted a Bayfront master plan. The fact is, the policymakers got the information, we were able to analyze it, and we cast a vote. At that point, it's our opportunity and it's our responsibility to move out of the process and allow the planning professionals from both the city and the port to handle all of the nuts and bolts, the mechanics of the deal. Unfortunately, what we've seen, and again, I only know what I've read in the Reader magazine, we've got a situation where elected officials and other people get in and start tinkering with things, and it causes us to lose momentum. We can't do that. We have to vote when the policy is before the decision-making body and allow the professionals to do their job. And we determine whether or not they are doing their job. And I will tell you, if we hold ourselves to that, we will have a Bayfront that we're very, very pleased and very, very proud of.
Ms. Moriarty?
Well, I agree with everything that's been said here. I wouldn't want to see what's happened in Coronado, where you lock the whole part of the island when you can't see. So I think that's very important. But I think we have the structure in place to make sure that that doesn't happen with the Planning Commission, with the planners. I'm also worried about the environment, so I would want to make sure that, of course, that we have the environmental issues addressed. But we need to move forward on this. I just feel like I keep saying this over and over again, and we need to get people moving and stop talking about it. Thanks.
Mr. Vincent?
I think the Bayfront project is a great project for the city. We've had many projects that came before us, and this happens to be one of the best that has shown up, that has come forward so far. And I with the others, approve of the Gaylord project. I too do not want the footprint, meaning the size of the building, being sprawled out so it covers up views. and blocks our winds. And so, you know, you look at Newport, which they did up there, which was a huge mistake, where they did spread out the buildings. And although it's operating and functioning and tax feasible, it doesn't do what we want to do for our bayfront, which is to keep it open for us as Chula Vistans to go down there and enjoy, as well as have that activity for the hotels. Thank you.